Superiority. Here we go. This Japanese unit is being attacked and attacking, so they should be taking a penalty. Multiple combat, -50, -50. There you go. And that should be in the attack and also in the defense. No, it's just the defense. So you only take the multiple combats if you're also caught in the defense while attacking. Pause the game while you get lunch. No, sorry. Right, so the other thing I had meant to do is say Hussar, Garfi 400, Lord Asker, Garov Sesani, Jax ATK, and Dr. Zayden, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Audio FA, thank you very much for the 9-month resubscription. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there. Kaiserreich Esports Hype, indeed. These are Grand Strategy Esports, what you're watching right now. And then Vampire Baron wishes me to drink some tea. I can do that. Lovely. So this is a pretty grueling fight so far. I wonder how many losses each side has taken. So Left Kuomintang, Shanqing have lost 48,000 each. Nanjing's lost 123,000. And then we also have the Kumul Khanate versus Xinjiang Clique. Now I wonder if any of the majors are going to get involved in this. Xinjiang Clique is not being supported. Kumul Khanate is not being supported. I mean, that is another opportunity for experience. But supply out here is such a massive problem that generally the major power units are so much bigger that they are going to suffer badly from supply issues fighting in areas like this. So unless you're coming in with like 10 combat with cavalry, it's not often worth it. Whereas fighting out here, you have a lot more supply. That Russian unit is about to be destroyed. Shanqin Chango is dead. Just before the Russian lost. So the Russians didn't lose their volunteer. And now we're going to see all of the Nanjing forces flooding southwards to go and reinforce against Left Kuomintang. And we are seeing quite a few German volunteers down here already. 1, 2, 3, 4 German units, 5 German units. We have got Swedes, we have got Austrians, we have got Ukrainians, we have Bulgarians, plus of course the regular Nanjing forces coming in. So Left Kuomintang at this point is probably going, ah! And that Commune de France unit is incredibly weak. They have sent in another. Ireland is still here. Baratia is still here. No sign of Socialist Republic of Italy. Spain is here. Or Union of Britain. Although again, Union of Britain sending planes. Looks like 20 each. Whereas the Nanjing factions... Need to see where their air bases are so I can actually hover over and take a look. Have Germany, East Asia, Austria and Sweden. So the Ukraine has not sent any planes, probably because they're sending out to one of the other players to do air control. Reichspakt has scored 2 points, Casablanca and Singapore. They start with those, though. Oh, no, it's because Germany East Asia is supposed to go Indochina, so it's technically supposed to be CoPro, and Casablanca is Reichspakt, so they start with that anyway. So, no changes yet. The only changes might be out in China, because Nanjing Clique is taking territories, though because they're not formally part of the Reichspakt, I don't think it counts. They have to be in the faction. German flag and German East Asia flag are almost identical. Yes, I know. I know how to tell the difference because of the yellow thing in the middle. Easier to tell looking at these units. Those are German, German, or aircraft. That was the other way. There's the airbase. There, you can see. Germany East Asia has that tiny little yellow thing in the center of the square. whereas Germany doesn't. How can they send so many volunteers? Most countries can send between 2 and 4 at the start. I wonder if Germany doubled down. I don't know if technically the war against Shanqing, Chang'o and Left Kuomintang were separate wars, and once they peaced out against Shanqing, whether they stayed in Nanjing, because they were technically sent to Nanjing. I wonder if that's why we have 4 Germans instead of 2 Germans. Really wish I could watch more, but 24 hours awake does no good for the brain. No worries, Butterboy. This almost certainly will be uploaded onto YouTube. I am recording it. Probably in a few days, because I want to let the preliminaries have a bit more time. Plus, of course, VODs. There's always VODs. Oh, they've opened up here. Except for this guy attacking. Baratia is currently pinning. Spain's also pinning. Bulgaria sent in some troops. Now I wonder if it's in anybody's interest to stop the Reichspakt getting too strong. I wonder if somebody like Russia wants to get involved. Oh no, they can't. They are limited in sending volunteers only to their ideologies. So they can't. Never mind. GA is not human controlled, no. The 5th Co-Prosperity Sphere player has not shown up. So GEA/Philippines, currently unplayed, and National France, French Republic, currently unplayed. Those are the 2 that are supposed to have players. What are the rules for having a break? There are no breaks. Technically, each team is allowed to get 1 break, which is like a 2-minute. I've never seen them actually invoke that, though. Ever. That was actually one of my criticisms for the Kaiserreich Weekly admins last year was, I really want breaks. I'm a commentator, I'm talking for 8 hours. I think I just need to be a little bit more willing to just step away. I couldn't do that last week because of the reconnection issues. Whenever we had to hot join... Oh. How did KMT just lose? Okay, I don't know why that ended. That was a bit sudden. Cool. What was I saying? Breaks. Yeah, I would like breaks. But last week I couldn't take breaks because whenever there was a hot join, and they were quite frequent, I had to be at the computer to select another country and observer. Otherwise it would just crash the game for everybody. So the obvious time to take a break would be when there's a reconnection. I couldn't do that. I bet the players were, though, because they didn't have that problem. GEA changes diplomatic status with us. Cancel Lend-Lease. So yeah, I wonder how strong GEA is going to be. Let's take a quick look to see what they're doing. They are compromising with the local elites. And if they get all of this done soon enough, they avoid the civil war. And it looks like they're doing it. Because I think I've played as GEA twice now, and I've avoided it both times by going all the way down fiscal austerity and all the way down collaborate with local elites. You just need to do it quickly. Oh, did they take the capital? Okay, I missed that. And then Philippines. Well, the US Civil War hasn't happened yet, so nothing will have occurred in the Philippines. Do they have a focus tree? No, they don't. So I think it's just an event that flips them one way or another. I have a feeling a weakened Entente and Co-Prosperity will be good for the Internationale. Weakened Entente is definitely good for the Internationale, because the Internationale tends to be the target of Entente naval invasions. Co-Prosperity... I'm trying to think who they usually fight against. Co-Prosperity usually fights against the Entente, particularly over India, and also I guess Russia on the Eastern Front. So actually it benefits both sides. I would say that weakened Co-Prosperity actually benefits Reichspakt, and then weakened Entente definitely helps on... Third int. It really depends on naval game. How good the Entente are at intervening. Like we saw that absolutely glorious naval invasion of the Union of Britain at the start of the Second World Krieg for Germany in the last game, which they just didn't back up. It was such a crying shame. That could have been a knockout blow. Like, take out the Union of Britain, that was their air controller. That basically means that Third Internationale has no aircraft. Jack Reed elected president. I thought they had to go with Landon. Slurfen! Thank you very much for the bits. Hello, Mord Gang. Hello, Slurfen. Not only did the League survive, they also gained Shandong at the expense of Henan, Guangxi, Guangdong. I mean, this is always lost. I don't think there's any way of saving this for Nanjing. What's going to happen here is they're going to have their civil war. That's probably when the Entente's going to get involved. And then eventually there will be a reckoning between these two, but that's not for a while. So probably the next showdown is going to be Qing versus Fentian. And it will be down to whether Qing can get their alliance with Nanjing in time. Because apparently what the Reichspakt were trying to do last time and then it didn't trigger is Nanjing can join Qing's faction and then basically help Qing against Fentian. But Fentian attacked so early that that never happened. So now it's Fentian are on the clock. They have to attack Qing sooner rather than later before Qing can start subsuming everything here. Meanwhile, I am seeing volunteers in the Xinjiang clique war. So on Xinjiang, we have got volunteers from Austria, Germany, Ukraine, and the Ottomans. On the side of East Turkestan, we have got different team. East Turkestan is being supported by Ottomans, Russia, Japan, Siam. Xinjiang is supported by Austria, Germany, Sweden, Ukraine, and Mar clique. Okay, it's not the Ottomans. That's the Ottomans. That's Mar. I was getting confused because those flags are incredibly similar. And then we've got the Kumul Khanate being supported by Russia, Fentian, Japan, and Siam. So the Third Internationale is sending a lot of volunteers, which is a thing we saw them do last game as well. So I am happy to see a repeat of that. And then Reichspakt here. Entente has not sent a single volunteer unit yet that I've noticed. Nope, nothing. And I feel like that's going to be costing the Entente. Let's see this from Xinjiang clique's perspective. Again, this is just such nasty terrain to be fighting in. It's all mountains and deserts, and the supply here is just awful. Supply limit, it's 12. Supply limit here of 1. There you go. That's a problem. Supply limit here of 9, 10. 1 supply. Level 1 infrastructure. Oof. Horrible. Level 1 infrastructure here in Kumul as well. 10 supply, 2 supply. Oh wait, that's a 0 supply here. Oh, that's just because they didn't really have access. So I don't know how much fighting the majors really want to do, or if they're just going to sit back and basically stop this war actually doing anything. Although it does look like they're about to kill this unit. That's a separate province. They're attacking across here. This unit should really go into here. There we go. Wait, how are you... Oh, you're actually in there. You're actually in this, aren't you? Nah, that's what's happened. That's not confusing. Meanwhile, the Austrians getting attacked by the Russians. We have a Siam unit with no opposition. And in fact, if they pin that, then their allies can take all of this and go around the edge. And there's also gaps up here in the north, so this has become a war of maneuver. It's locked down up here, I would say, but in the south it's open. In the rules he has to go Reed. I thought in the rules he had to go London. I can't remember. It's been a week since I read the rules last. People are sending volunteers for army experience. This war is almost certainly just army experience. The war in China, I think, was more of a geopolitical thing. You want your faction to be strongest in China. So that's Nanjing for the Reichspakt. Left KMT would have been Third International. Shanqin, Qiangou would have been, or Shandong would have been Fentian, and Anqing would also have been Fentian. Then the Entente, once Lingguang starts fighting, we'll see the Entente starting to arrive. Do all of the fleets have admirals? I will look at the fleet situation when we actually get to war. So I'm imposing a rule on myself. I'm going to try not to look at focuses in this first session. I'm not going to look at technology in this first session, and I'm not going to look at naval stuff in this first session, because I am fully aware that some of the players were watching the VOD of the first session when they were playing last week. So because I know that's a thing and it's not really preventable, I'm not going to check those sensitive things in this first session. In the second session, things will open up dramatically. We can check technology, we can check focuses, we can check army templates if they're at war. In the Second World War, that's the rule there. And that's a farm rule, not just a me rule. And we can check the navies. Because if we look at the navies, we can see what kind of ships they're focusing. And I don't want to do that, because that gives a lot of information. Did Nejd lose? Oh yeah, they did. Jabal Shammar won for a change. I did not have a chance. Yes, they're getting volunteers. Austria, Germany and Sweden. They just went home. I don't know who was supporting Nejd though. Like, the players are actually being pretty on the ball about the volunteers. I mean, it's easier for them. They get pop-ups when wars happen, unlike me. Okay, so we have these guys starting to backfill. And they should be able to just basically slip around the edge of that guy. So it's kind of looking like Xinjiang Clique is in a bit of trouble here. Especially considering the number of troops the Kummel Khanate has. East Turkestan declared on Kummel Khanate, so this is now a full-on three-way war. Though the borders between these two are currently impassable, because this is just one giant wasteland section. Oh, we have a hot join. Huzzah! Jack the Ripper showing the generosity today. Thank you very much for that, Jack. Very much appreciate that. Aiden BC8, Aleris Gamer, Huzzah! Tigrak, Jerry Carr, and Sokulu. Congratulations on the gifted subs courtesy of Jack the Ripper. Really appreciate that, Jack. Thank you. Right, first thing I want to check, huzzah, is to see if we have any new players joining us. So do we have a Nationalist France? We do. Black Necron is coming in as Nationalist France. Huzzah! And then the other one was Indochina or the Philippines, which we don't. So CoPro is still missing a player. Huzzah! Just going to go quickly through all of the different teams in case we have some people joining us. So the dudes in Canoes are currently led by Y-Man in Japan. We've got the French Baguette up in Russia. We have the Empress of France in Fentien. We've got Mazdo in Siam. And then the Philippines or Indochina currently unplayed. So they are missing a player. The Third International, which is Team Outer Heaven, has got Demon in France, Ulala in England, or the Union of Britain, Pi in the Kingdom of Spain, soon to be the CNTFAI, which they are allowed to avoid the Spanish Civil War peacefully, Opai in the Socialist Republic of Italy, and then Fire Dradon. No, they've switched. Devolo is now in... Italy, and then Opie is in Ireland. Ooh. Because those players have switched around. All of the others are still the same though. Okay, then we have got the Tuken Party in the Reichspakt. We have got the Maelstrom in Germany. We've got Freddy in Austria. We've got Chasm in the Ukraine. We've got Purple Teaser in Bulgaria. And then Reactionary Atlas in Sweden. And then finally we have the Entente, which are the Tomb Boys. In Canada, we have Necron Slave number 2. In the USA, we have Necron Slave number 1. In the Dominion of India, we have Necron Slave number 3. Nationalist France, we have Black Necron. And then in Australia, we've got Orgsec. So those are the various players. I don't know if Necron Slave number 2 is Vault Jumper or not, or if they have actually brought in one of the Necrons. Considering Vault Jumper was in one of the other teams last time, I suspect he was a substitute. What was I doing? I need to go back to your server. I need to open that and then bring up notifications. There we go. Cool. So what is happening in the war over here, and are there any other wars going on? Doesn't look like it, not yet. We'll need to keep an eye out for the American Civil War though. Oh, Qing. We were going to take a look at the focus tree for Qing. Let's do that first. So which factions can you join? So placate the assembly, request German bailout. That's almost certainly going to be going pro-Germany. Loyalty has its own rewards, is also pro-Germany. Future relationship with Germany, that's probably where they join the Reichspakt. So Qing is pro-Reichspakt, as is Nanjing. Also known as the League of 8 Provinces, the 5 Provinces and the 9 Provinces. Because no tag changes name quite so frequently as this. Then the League of 8 Provinces has a really cool mechanic where the more power the market liberals have, the stronger German East Asia becomes. It's a really, really nice symbiotic relationship that they've built in between those two. I absolutely love it. And basically, the more that Nanjing wants to build up their industry and the more they do collaboration with the Germans, the stronger the market liberals become. That's basically the German East Asia Trading Company, active in League of 6 Provinces. So as they go down Tsingtao collaboration, all of these change in popularity market liberalism, but they do come with things like factories and research for industry, research speed. Really, really nice bonuses, but there is a payoff. And the more power that Germany has in League of 8 Provinces, the less choices you can make internationally. It's really cool. Oh, they have gone for the Civil War. Now I see what they were talking about. So we've got Lombardy and Venice. Xinjiang clique took one state. East Turkestan have been annexed, so Xinjiang... Actually, a bit of an upset. I was expecting Xinjiang to be losing here. But they actually managed to take the victory point provinces, I guess, and have turned things around. And now Kamul Khanate have it all to look out for. They are trying to push out here, though they have just gotten themselves encircled. And there is a nice big opening down here in the south. Turpan, completely unguarded. This Austrian unit could take that. And then Kumul itself currently being guarded by Japan. A very, very weak Japan. And then also some Russians. What's the 9th province? Shandong? I think it might be. Because League of... Oh, wait, there's 6 provinces. No, Shandong's the 6th. So the 5 provinces is all of this minus Shandong. 6th is Shandong. 8 is all of this, because there's 2 of them down here. Then I think they can also become 9 provinces, so maybe Hunan? Or maybe Yunnan. It's one of these 2, I think. I do vaguely remember a war against Yunnan in my League game. Did they fix the issue with the conscription law in the League? I remember a game with Shen where he couldn't go extensive. I don't remember. I have a feeling I came up against that issue as well and I had to console command it. There's a few things in the newer updates that I've had to console command. Likewise, League of Eight likewise, German East Asia having massive manpower issues, so I was disbanding some of their bigger ships. Like, German East Asia has a carrier for some reason. Wait. Oh. It's already gone. This isn't a player, is it? Nope. I wonder if that's deleted as part of the mod. Or Germany took it already. Germany does have a focus to take German East Asia's fleet. I'm assuming that's what they've done. But yeah, German East Asia starts with an aircraft carrier and no real use for it. So just disband it. It's like 5,000 manpower. Which for them is a lot. Yeah, Germany took the ships. You can attack Hunan with decisions, gotcha. Original later, Hunan, 2 Linguang, 6, they currently have Shandong. No, less Shandong is 8. Shandong is the 9th, gotcha. But it's 6 right now because they have Shandong, as opposed to 5 where it would be without. Because Anqing was already a part of them. Do I not use carriers then, Mordred, or do you consider them only situationally useful? The issue with carriers is they are quite manpower intensive, and they require an air force, which is also manpower intensive, and German East Asia just does not have the manpower for that. Like right now they have a manpower of 6,000. That's actually going to get worse if they go down the German force path, which I would arguably say is much, much stronger because these bonuses are eye-wateringly good. Division recovery plus 10%, division attack plus 20%, max planning plus 25%, special forces capacity multiplier plus 25%, and special forces minimum capacity plus 10. It's outrageously strong, but it does cost you recruitable population factor. So your army is going to be absolutely minuscule, but incredibly elite. Like some of the best units in the game easily. And thanks to their symbiotic relationship with the League of 8 Provinces, they get industry bonuses as the League gains territories. So in fact, if we take a look at the German East Asia, we can see that they have this, the Aufsichtsrat der Ostasiatische Generalverwaltung, which is giving them bonus max volunteers, as long as the AOG, aka the League of 8 Provinces, has some of the Chinese settlements under their control, or if they have the Tsingtao collaboration, these places, these openings. Which also gives them a minus 15% consumer goods factories. That's another 5% if they got Guangzhou, for example. So if League of 6 Provinces went and took Guangzhou back again, they would have a minus 20% consumer goods. Like, their industrial capacity is huge. It's a really fun game playing as either of those two. And that's why I'll keep on ranting about it, because I want people to know. It's not the most obvious thing. Alright, so the Xinjiang clique has actually come back and won their war. Even though I thought that they wouldn't, but well done for them. Doesn't look like there's... Oh, no, American Civil War. So we've had the factions breaking apart. I don't think the war is actually broken out yet. No, we're just moving troops in. So obviously the USA is getting ready to try and cut the CSA in half. They're angling most of their troops towards that. They are actually leaving a fair number of units out here. For some reason. Which is very, very easy to be cut off. I think probably doesn't realise. Because that's a fair number of troops.
Yes, sir.
And these guys don't have a front line assigned. And there it is, Second World War. Second American Civil War, rather. World War for the Americans has begun. Cuba seizes Guantanamo, terror in New England,
Yes, sir.
and he's noticed. And they're starting to move.